धागे न तिनक धिन 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 धागे न तिनक धिन.
Every day I wake, I make my mind up. I'ma be the one, be the truth, be the way. Yeah. Every day I wake, I make my mind up. Gotta keep my mind on the because they only telling their side of the story. Out here telling lies like they on Morid. And poor rich kids get their money on phone it. But down here in the hood, yeah, we know Forex. We growing up, yeah. We got the goods. Good of them assets, good of my bag. Get rid of cash before the whole market crash. A news flash, just a flash from the past. We on the smash, now. Be prepared to hit the gas, yeah.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, switch your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Try.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Woo. That's my child. Woo.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel. Hey, hey, hit him with the high, yeah. Sharing no vodka from Virginia. Yeah.
I know I'm more because I'm blessed. I know I'm more. I passed the test.
We got to see with the true eyes. We need some brand new bright ideas. We got the hearts and some great minds, yeah. If we could all just be sincere.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, switch your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Try.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Woo. That's my child. Woo.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel. Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, switch the game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel. Hey, hey, hit him with the high, yeah.
75% of Americans currently do not have an estate plan. So who needs it and why? If you're over 18 and you don't know the answer to one of these questions, then it's probably you. So adults, who can make healthcare decisions for you if something were to happen today? Do you have the right set of documents to make sure your loved ones can be present for you? Parents, do you have the right set of guardianship documents to make sure that your children can be under the care of someone that you trust and that knows them, that cares for them and has their best interests at heart? Homeowners, would your family face probate if something were to happen to you today? Would you not rather make sure they don't face the delays, cost, and public nature of this court process? If any of these apply to you, here at Trustee Friend, we have simple planning options, whether you opt for a guided by a friend, guided by a planner, or guided by attorney option, making estate planning simple, affordable, and accessible to everybody. Don't believe me? Reach out to us today.
Whole time I done made a rookie mistake on mute. Tap in. Let me know if y'all hear me. Peace to the chat. Peace to the party. Shout out to everybody involved today. This Sunday service, we switching it up a little bit. You know, we always talk history, we talk politics, but it's very important for us to stay up to current events and understand how those policies and the politics affect us in our communities. All right, so that's what we're taking it today. So we got a lot of special guests in the building. A lot of them already backstage, prompt. I love it. You know, we like to be on, we not on CP time over here. We gonna get to things right and orderly. This is what we do. So, hey, I wanna, before we talking about land, we talking about opportunity zones, real estate development, right? Why is this important to us, the indigenous community, conscious community, whatever you consider yourself, right? So I wanna play a real life example. It's a woman going through a situation with some land that her family owned. I want to play it real quick. It's going to open up the later conversation today where we bring up our guests. So check this out.
And this is Fajra Delane, Janine Delane's daughter. I am reporting live that my mom is currently being detained, and basically they are wanting her to sign over her family's deeds. So this has been a very tough time right now for the family, and she's been fighting for this for over a couple of years. They are basically trying to bully her into signing over what's rightfully hers. So this is very hurtful, and basically we are needing people to round up to help her in this fight. She has been kind of holding this down by herself, but this is to a point where we are going to need community and for us to come together. So currently we have issued out, if you are interested in spreading the message, there's a template that we can share, or you can reach out to me if you have any additional questions. So currently we have a couple links circulating around. We will be staying up to date on this case and coming together for Mama Neen, who's fighting for land for her family. So this is nothing light, but we appreciate the support and love and message and spreading the word so far. Thank you for the donations. Keep that coming. Continue to spread the message, let people know. Inshallah, also continue to pray if you're Muslim, Christian, whoever. This is a big fight, so we appreciate you. I wanted to come on here to give some type of message, and more to come.
Hey, shout out to her, the family, everybody fighting, and shout out to Chief Warhorse too, and anybody else who highlighting it, because these are real life situations that's happening. And imagine for people who don't even understand the ties to their ancestors to certain land that's already been lost. That was the whole systematic approach behind this, right? So as historians, we know this, but then we got real life situations happening. This is just one that's being publicized and highlighted but it's happening all over the country, more specifically in the southern and then in the Midwestern areas. You know what I'm saying? So outside of the land being taken through outright theft, it's other ways that land is being developed, or the government policies that's enabling all people, right? Because it ain't as if we couldn't do it. Most of us just don't have the education. We don't have the game. We're not tied into the network of people to be able to bring these things into reality. But it's ever more important that we do so because America is changing. Some people would say for the good, others would say for bad. Regardless, we here dealing with it. So instead of tucking your tail and running, especially if you're from here, it's best for us to figure out a plan to be productive amongst this system that they done set up for us, right? So Mac, looks like we got Mac already in the building. He ready. So like I said, it's different than our normal Sunday service. We want to focus on the discussion that we have in today because it's very important. So I'm gonna go and bring Mac up, and we're gonna start to get it popping. Tap in, Mac. You can hear me?
Yo.
Okay, we got Devon. What's up, bro?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm
loving what you guys are doing. Loving what you're doing.
Is he paused up? Y'all hear us live right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's probably just delay. I can hear you.
Delay. I'll make it show. All right, everybody that's live.
You know how it go.
Everybody, what's up to everybody that's live right now, that listening live and after the fact. You know what I mean? Each and every Sunday, you know what it is. We try to bring you something. But this time around, but shout out to my man Devon that's with me today. You know what I mean? Y'all see me in the place I'm at, right? So it's the man behind the man. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get credit to where it's due. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I know me, Mac 8 to G Mac. You know what I mean? The harsh reality is live life autonomously. You know, I always gotta say that to y'all on Sunday service. And Marana to everybody that's tapped in. My man Dito, furthermore, I want to introduce him first that's live with me in the studio and let him get the backdrop on him. I'm just gonna tell you off top. It's probably I can tell y'all one of my oldest friends, you know what I mean, in Florida. You know what I mean? If y'all don't know, I ain't being biased, but I gotta be real about that. I've known it since sixth grade. You heard me? You know what I'm saying? So but his path and my path, funny enough, because of sixth grade, you know what I mean? We've interconnected, but obviously we're interconnected now based off of the niche of what I do and what he has going on, the opportunities and situations. We're gonna be talking about opportunities tonight, y'all. So furthermore, I mean, my man D, Devon, Frazier, you heard me? Shout out to the Frazier family. You heard me? Shout out to them. Go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself, man, and let the people know what's going on with you.
Look, thank you for having me. You are one of my long-standing friends. I'm happy to say that. What we're doing here on Sis Trunk is part of an opportunity zone play that's throughout the country, right? It's little, it's not talked about enough, it's not explained or disclosed enough. So people, they might see it, but they make it so difficult for you to understand it that most people don't take advantage of it.
Right.
Whereas we did. We decided to take advantage. Actually, we took a big risk. What we did was we wanted to build a center, ecosystem as we call it, in one building under 10,000 square feet, put as many businesses in a gentrifying neighborhood where it still gives the people in the neighborhood the opportunity to participate, do their business, have a place to get their hair cut, their own studio, and podcast studio, and recording studio, a restaurant, and an executive center. It's a lot. It was a big undertaking. It was a 2.5-year project to build out. And the city and the counties don't pay as fast as you want them to. So that's one thing you should definitely know before getting involved in it. Our job with this project, and anybody who gets into opportunity zone or wants to go for CRA funding or county funding, you have to have a quota to meet, right? They're not giving you this money for no reason. They're giving you this money so you bring positives to the neighborhood that affect the people that are there. So those things sometimes are challenging, but at the same time, they're not. I mean, we all have, regardless what side of the track we're on, we all have the same needs. We need to eat. We need to be groomed. We want to market. We want to do business. But when those opportunities aren't in your zip code, you have to leave the zip code in order to patronize them. So we brought them all here under one roof. This way that, when you're in a neighborhood like this or any neighborhood that's gentrifying, it takes time before people start walking the street. More people move in and different class of people. So we had to have multiple businesses in place to help support each other. And it's even in doing that, it's difficult, right? So the goal is, if the barbershop has a client, maybe the restaurant will turn them into a client as well. And maybe they'll stop by the executive center and use the computer, or, hey, I need to do a podcast. So the idea is to change one customer into 4 while they're here. That's the economics behind it. But the bigger staple for us, or the most important thing for us, is the amount of opportunity that we get to have the kids in the neighborhood see, right? They get to see, they saw us start with nothing. So now they see, we were telling everybody about what we were going to do, and nobody can vision it. Nobody ever sees your vision until you build it. So now that we've built it, in the process of building it, we hired 2/3 of the construction in this building happened from people in this neighborhood. 2/3 of the material that are in here were purchased from people in this neighborhood. HVAC, plumbing, interior design, wood craftsmanship was put into this building from the people in the neighborhood. So that just us building the place stimulate the economy in the neighborhood. It also gets us all to work together, right? We all want to work together and do good business. And in order to do that, you end up growing with the neighborhood as you do that. Yeah. So I don't lose focus. What I was saying about the quota is the cities and the counties will give you the money, but you have to inevitably bring the biggest and best benefit to the community.
You saying all that, you've gone through all the, like, how long you've been doing this project now from Provident Market from the start?
From start to finish, I'm about 4 months, 4 years, 3 months in.
4 years, 3 months in.
And I'm now fully activated.
You can say that all the business structures and plans and concepts have been built out.
They've been built out. I mean, we've tested some things. We had a different restaurant vendor. I've gone through different tenants with the studio, with executive center. I mean, when you have a community center, we all have to have one thing in common in the line. And it's got to be the focus and the purpose of what we're doing. The idea is not to gatekeep, right? So if you're doing business here, it's okay that somebody else can do business with that same person if they have the niche or the talent that they want to hire. The idea is to refer each other business, not to hold it from each other. So, sometimes not everybody aligns that same way. Then they're under a roof, and it's true. One bad apple can spoil the group. So instead of it making it a bad apple, maybe this isn't the home for you. I wish you the best. Find another home, but this isn't it.
But you found people in common that obviously
no. Yeah, now I have. But you can't talk about any of the good without going through some of the bad.
Yeah, that's the reality of community building. You got to work with your people, and that comes with good and bad. That's the reality of it.
It does. Yeah. I mean, I think since I've been here, since I've started the project, the first thing that happens when you come into a neighborhood like this, if you're not from the neighborhood, if you don't live in the zip code, you come in to do something. The locals, and I mean from the homeless to the impoverished to the people that are walk on the street every day who live in this neighborhood,
right?
They're gonna look at you cockeyed. Why are you here? What are you doing? What is the purpose? And I think in our neighborhood, it's more being reluctant, and it's like a G check. They want to make sure that you are who you say you are, and it's gonna actually benefit the community. So I can tell you when we started, it was very difficult. It's like,
how difficult?
I mean, between stares, run-ups, conversations like, what you doing? Like Uncle Tom type stuff. Like, you work for the white man. Like, all that stuff is what we do, right? It's more of a G check. But those same people either now do work with me on a daily, or they help me with my location and make sure if something's not right in my location, they'll pick up the phone, get to your space. Like, you build relationships over time. So those things you're gonna deal with it. But I guess what I'm saying is sometimes you got to work through it because
you got to embrace
it. Genuine with the neighborhood. And I think that's really positive.
I mean, your testimony means something because as we get ready to go into this conversation, is why I wanted you to be here, because of the fact I feel like to go into this type of conversation for everybody that watches it live or after the fact, dealing with, the overall principle of opportunity zones and the different departments and things of the guests we got coming on that can talk to this point.
Right.
I think you can't talk about it unless you've kind of done it.
Till you did it. And
in good, bad, and ugly of it, because some people just going to try to show you just one side of it. And, people, okay, then they buy into it. But to really show the ins and outs like you said, the good and the bad.
You know build it with your own hands.
It's build, with your own hands. Shout out to the party.
It's funny, too, because being somebody who's a visionary, I have foresight, right? So I could have easily given this to a contractor and said, do this, pay an extra 20%. But I'm hard-headed, so I'm like, I'm going to do it myself. And
Mm-hmm.
to learn it that way and to feel it and touch it and smell it, it's not just a business decision, it's an education.
Yeah, for yourself.
I've
Yeah.
been 4 years of college building this thing,
Right.
learning the county, learning the city, understanding different departments, understanding what the neighborhood needs. But that's from like a ground-based level. Like you have some good guests coming on tonight who do it from a higher level than I do.
Mm.
And I love them
Okay.
for it. Love what they do, because when they get to talk to me, I'm telling them the gritty, hard life truth
Of
of
what you're
doing
going
it.
through to do it.
And they're
Right.
talking about it from a piece of paper of what they want. And when those two things actually align,
Oh man,
it's like, oh, so
You get full clarity.
you get a clarity.
you get the full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You know
that's so I'm kind of excited for this conversation
Yeah,
tonight.
me too.
Now this gonna be what they say. They say, oh, this gonna be a master class right
Oh
here,
yeah,
bro.
definitely. I think that again, appreciate shout out to you, D, for
Of course,
obviously
of
I've been here for I'm gonna say a good year now. You know what I mean?
Hey,
over
I
here.
can give you the outsider. So I ain't from there, and I've been there multiple times. But when you very first started, when it was just the shell, right? Nothing. All you can see is the shell. You can tell it's in the hood, but then this hood is right. All you see is big ass palm trees. I can see the downtown right down the road, so I see it. Okay, but this is before. So then I come back just recently, and it's open. Got customers, got tenants in there. You see what the space that y'all in right now, the way it look, you know what I'm saying? So, and I was there for the festivals, for Sistron Festival, and that was crazy. You know what I mean? So that it motivated me to see that it's possible to do that blueprint and that model, and people can do differently what they want with the tenants, but the overall idea is really genius. It's just not gonna be as easy as people think, but I respect it, bro, because I saw you stick to it, and I know it wasn't easy.
No, it's not easy, and I appreciate that. But I don't think nothing in life is easy, right? If you don't work for it, something. I think if there was something like this somewhere else, we would have had a blueprint to follow. We had to build a blueprint, and that's what we're trying to duplicate this model all over the country.
Yep.
So if because we're moving quickly into how we do it. If you don't mind, I'm gonna explain what the opportunity zone is.
Actually, matter of fact, I have something for the opportunity zone.
Okay.
Right, Amonte.
Yeah, you want to play the video?
Actually,
how you want to do it with the guests? How you want to play it?
Let's come up first, and then we can let him get into that part, because I don't want to jump, because we got some. I kind of be trying to be step with the people.
I'm with you. I'm walking.
All right, cool. So,
okay.
Is Erica back there yet? I know Shakay says she's almost ready, but
yes, she is. I'm gonna go ahead and bring her up. She been in here since right when it started, boy, on time. You know what I'm saying? She came early actually, because so I'm gonna go ahead and bring you up, man. I'm just getting your heads up. I know it throw people off when I just put them on the screen real quick. So we're gonna get to it. Peace, how you doing?
How y'all doing today?
What's up, sir?
Good.
What's up, Devon? What's up, Mac? How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. Getting my voice back here, so I'm good. I can't complain. I did. Good things though. Good things.
That's what's up. You know what I mean? As I wanted to, I wanted Shakay to be at the same time, but I know she told me she was running a little bit behind, but obviously when she jumps in, she could jump up. I just don't want to not, you know what I'm saying? You want half of the Bottoms Up podcast for everybody that's out there live. And I wanted both of y'all to be able to, shout out to the podcast and what y'all do, y'all two ladies, and what y'all been doing, and the noise y'all been making with the podcast, and what y'all talk about at the same time, on our podcast, Sunday service on our network for the first time. So, but either way, if you want to first tell them about Bottoms Up podcast real quick, and then we can go into, what Devon was just talking about with the old, with your background on that part too. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't mind.
Yeah, so so the Bottom Up podcast has been going on for 2 years, but I've been podcasting for 7. Changed the name a couple times, changed the format, but never really changed the substance in the product. And my product has always been education and more so edutainment. One thing I've learned about our people is we're not as willing to be educated as we are to be entertained. So
Facts.
I make sure to combine the two in, the term edutainment. And it's not a term I came up with. I've heard it before, but it's real. So the podcasting, I've covered a lot of local issues, what's going on at City Hall. I attend a lot of meetings from City Hall and local governments.
Oh,
See mine
is it
cut.
got to
It
cut
ain't
off?
us though. I can still
Um,
hear you. You can hear me? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Eric, your camera went out, but we heard. Oh, there you go.
There she
yeah,
go. Yep.
All right.
my apologies. Local
That's
local
all good.
government. But I cover what's going on. And I cover it from a bottom up approach. Because if you're coming into City Hall and you don't know anything, they can tell you anything, you can get part of the information or none of the information. You can get all of the information and still not know what to do. So I started paying attention to what's going on locally in Pompano and covering it from my front porch. Actually, it used to be called Porch Life. So I used to literally sit on my front porch and cover because my front porch was from walking distance to City Hall. I could literally stand at the front of my
Mhm.
street and look down at City Hall. Um, and from that, it's just really educating the people on, okay, this is what's going on. And I love the fact that Devon started talking about a gentrifying community and how working in those communities, because until we get unafraid of gentrification, that's really take our power and really start using these opportunity zones to help us in our communities. I start saying gentrification, people get scared, people
Yeah.
jump, they move, and it's like, okay, it's a two-sided coin, and it spin both ways. It don't matter which way you spend it, it's gonna go that way. So the podcast has become here lately. We're in a very contentious city right now. Our city, unlike a lot of cities, we have a even number of elected officials, and that even number has split the city and slowed down progress. So on any given issue or topic, you can get 33 votes, which means nothing happens
Yeah.
and things stop.
Mm.
So with that, we are now getting ready also to come up to an election cycle this November. All 5 seats are up for election and not the mayor. And getting people to understand, like, even with the 6 seat, you need a majority. So you need 4 votes to get anything done, and understanding what your elected officials are meant to do. And I'm in the process now. I was recently, my firm and I, we were part of the city's outreach and engagement Lotus Mindset for the downtown project here in Pompano. They're building a $2 billion downtown project. And we submitted a sole source proposal to outreach engagement liaison. It was built around the Wheel of Economic Opportunity, which is a trademarked platform that we put together to engage communities that are going through redevelopment, i.e., gentrification. How do you prepare the community to participate in the opportunities versus looking at them as obstacles and as ways that adversely affect them? And it's a big undertaking. I don't want to sit here and make it like, oh, this is just something so hell. It's not. It is really
It's a lot.
tough because
Yeah.
we're talking about changing the mindset of our people. And that requires us to have really tough conversations with the people. And also, those tough conversations have to be had with government officials. And when you are in the middle building those bridges, you're going to piss people off on both sides. And ultimately, the goal is to really build that bridge to where if you want it, you can go and get it. Cut the middleman out, go and get it because the opportunities are there. And we
Mm,
see it all the time when people come into our communities and take advantage of the opportunities, i.e., someone like a Devon who came with his experience and his vision and took advantage of these opportunities. Those opportunities were there before he got there. He just
right.
came and he took advantage of those opportunities. And what we see is when people do that, even if they look like us, we get the whole Uncle Tom and sellout from people who were
Mhm.
too afraid to take
To do it
advantage of those
themselves.
Oh, thank
opportunities.
you. Right. Right.
Right. So,
That's a
and
fact.
then even when we talk about the mindset of our people, even when we're throwing out the Uncle Tom aspect of our people, when they see Black people in business, working in communities, i.e., with government or with white people or whoever, we throw that out. But even the misconception of what Uncle Tom is, if you read the whole story, it wasn't Uncle Tom that sold the people out, it was
All right.
Sambo who
Okay.
sold the
Correct.
people out.
That
So
part.
we have people who are, really scared. What it is, they're scared, they're in fear of change, and they see it happening, and it's been happening. You can take it back to the first time they decided to put palm trees in your neighborhood. That's when gentrification started. It didn't start when the people came. It started when they started paving your roads, when they started putting the beautiful plants side the road. That's when it started. And if we're not paying attention to those things, then it looks like gentrification happened overnight when it was a long, methodical plan and we just weren't paying attention. So, at the Bottom Up Podcast, we talk about everything from politics to culture to economics, and we are Black centered. We make sure our messaging is centered around the Black experience. We show you how it connects to everything. We understand that Black people in this country, our economic spending power could be that of the 16th nation in this world. And we're not just talking about people who don't have power, we're talking about people who don't know they have power. And when we get into development and real estate and all of these opportunities in this country, understanding one simple fact that America is a corporation. It's business being done with every decision. Your elected officials are your business representatives, and they are in position to make business decisions on how money is spent in your community to improve the quality of your life. How that happens is how they negotiate those deals. If you're not part of the discussion, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And
Okay.
Mm.
that's what we focus on.
I really appreciate
Hey,
you doing
that's a
all.
hell of a intro.
Yeah, you saw she gave me
Yeah.
detail. You heard me, but she
Oh,
know
yeah.
what the bottom up do. You heard me. I mean, we have a clip, matter of fact, real quick before we go into the opportunity zone conversation of
Yep.
this. And it's, shout out to her.
Is her City Hall?
Yeah, man.
We'll go ahead and play that.
Yeah, we got Max. We gotta play this. All
Y'all
right.
heard her calmly. Now you're gonna see her in
Run the
action.
clip.
Yeah, watch this. I like it. I'm finna
Up
play it.
your
Hold on.
volume too.
Yeah. Big facts. All right, finna load
This
it.
clip right here go crazy. I was like, look at Sarah right here.
Over the last several months, it has become abundantly clear to me that there has been a concerted effort to narrow the space where I can speak freely, to limit what I can say, what questions I can ask, what conversations I believe our community deserves to have. I have never believed the truth should be negotiated or that accountability should come with conditions. I was raised in this community. I have family buried in this community. I have celebrated victories in this community. My love for this community isn't political, it's personal. That is why Lotus Mindset officially terminated its contract with the city effective June 30th. Not because we stopped believing in the people. Not because the work wasn't worth doing. Not because we lack gratitude for the opportunity to serve. We made that decision because there comes a time when protecting your integrity matters more than protecting your position. I choose integrity, not, let me be clear.
I don't know if it stopped. Can y'all hear us still live?
It's an introduction. The headline is not that Sarah Peterson is going away. The headline is that the handcuffs are off. No more wondering what I can say. No more measuring words out of obligation. No more shrinking difficult conversations to make powerful people comfortable. The residents deserve honesty. They deserve context. They deserve to understand how decisions are made, who benefits, who bears the burden, and what truly is at stake for Exit 36. That means I will talk about development. I will talk about opportunity. I will talk about money. I will talk about candidates. I will talk about elected officials. And I will talk about the policies that affect us. And I will do it with facts, with courage, and with the love for this community. So yes, I am excited. Not because conflict excites me, but because truth liberates us. Okay. The architects of this republic understood one thing. A nation cannot call itself free if its people must whisper. So they've carved into this foundation of this country a promise that the voice of the people would never have to bow to the comfort of the powerful. That promise was not reserved for the rich, the connected, or politically convenient. It belongs to everyday people. It belongs to those willing to stand flat-footed to the truth, and when it's uncomfortable. And as a black woman born on Southern soil, raised up on the prayers of my elders, the sacrifice of my ancestors, and the unshakable belief that freedom is never given, it is exercised. And I know exactly what comes next. My ancestors were denied the microphone, but never lost their voice. They whispered through cotton fields. They sang through sorrow. They marched through hatred. And they paved their way through pain that generations like me wouldn't have to ask for permission to speak. So hear me clearly. I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced.
Okay.
Yeah. Standing on it. I like that.
Listen, I learned something every time I hear that again.
Hey, listen, man.
I love that.
Hey, it was fire. Hey, listen, you was on fire. Hey, listen, I don't know what they did to you that day to make you get up like that. What was going on? But it was much needed clip. You heard me? Bars for bar.
But you know,
oh man,
giving you your flowers is one thing, but I think that's a problem in our community too. Our black women have more to say than we allow them, and we should compliment you for the work that you do all day, every day. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That male chauvinism.
Well, you know, I appreciate that about you, Devon, and the environment and the culture you're creating around the work you're doing. As much as you're Black centered, you're also Black woman centered with what you're doing, and that is so needed in our community, not to elevate one higher than the other, but to give space and room for Black women. I want our Black men to understand this. For so long, we have been the last we were the last to have a right to vote, the last to own the to get a board. So we've had
Circle.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
You know,
what about now?
You sound better now, though. I don't know what it was. I just want people to hear you, though. Make sure. You broke up a little bit the last thing you were saying.
Yeah. So I was saying so much about our community and our experience as Black people. Black women were the last to have their rights to vote. We were the last to be able to buy a home without a man's permission or his authority to own a bank account. And because of that, because of being the last, we've been able to watch everyone and see how to do things better. And now we have the opportunities now to work in partnership with Black men with what they know and what they've experienced. But we also have the opportunity now as Black women and Black men to elevate our communities together. and it all requires just what the is creating that culture where Black women in our mind and what in our vision. Devon is a visionary. We are visionaries too. We're the mothers of this world. We carry, so we it means to carry things. When we make those spaces, we do amazing things. And I just needed to say that, like, just
No, for sure.
creating a space for Black women to do stuff. You get them on your team, I promise you. Level.
Yeah.
I was told that a long time ago. Keep the Black
Yeah,
woman
nah,
on your side,
facts.
boy. You're gonna be all right. You heard me. Keep
Mm-hmm.
the Black woman on your side. You're gonna be all right. Now,
Yep.
within that, you was talking about opportunity zone, right? And before you go in, I had a clip for you. I don't want you to tell me what you think about what it's saying, and then let you go in on the actual opportunity zone. And then when Shakay comes up, Monte,
Yep.
stop us and let us know. We'll pull her up. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh
she
yeah.
get
Matter of fact, let me make ain't nobody back there yet.
Okay, cool. So play the clip for opportunity zone real quick, Monte, if you don't mind.
All right, I got you on running now.
Opportunity zones are a 2017 tax incentive that flashes a giant invest here sign over low-income neighborhoods. They were introduced in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act as a bipartisan inclusion of the tax bill. Here's how opportunity zones work. There are parts of the country.
You stopped it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, it stopped on
One
our
way
side.
is
There
by
you go.
offering them a tax incentive. When investors invest in an opportunity zone, they get to keep more of the profits they make instead of being taxed on them. And the longer they keep their money in the OZ, the bigger the tax break. To get the full benefit, for example, a qualifying investment in an OZ would have to be held for at least 10 years. Not only that, but there's no cap on how much investors can invest in OZs. And there are very few administrative barriers to overcome. One of the important restrictions is that OZ investments have to be used for things like new apartment buildings or investments in new businesses. So at their core, opportunity zones are increasing the incentive for investors to fund long-term projects within communities that rarely are able to attract new investment activity on their own. Check out the next video to see if OZs really were distressed when they were designated.
That money. That's my little clip I got. No. I felt it would like give you the alley-oop to go in because you've done the opportunity situation. I want you to give people the real full, you know what I mean? So after you saw that, go ahead. What you think about opportunity zones?
Here's what I think. One, I like the clip, but the clip is so high level that if you aren't able, the people in this neighborhood, because we have financial literacy problems in our neighborhoods, okay?
Yep.
If you can't understand what he's saying, you're lost in the sauce.
Right.
So to me, he spoke clear English right into my head, college degrees, business. I don't know exactly what he's saying. But the problem is when I reverse engineer my thinking, I know how it's only because of 27 years of experience and being able to be financially literate, I understand. So I question myself, who doesn't? Who doesn't understand this?
Oh, a lot.
Mostly, I'm gonna say 80% of people don't understand because he's telling you about, and he's telling you everything he says is the truth. But now we have to break it down.
Right.
He's telling you where to find the money, but you don't know where that money's at. So then how do you get to it?
Mm-hmm.
There's more questions, right? So let's go back. The whole purpose of the opportunity zone, it's a fully gridded zones that are all over the country. They're everywhere. Okay. The website is hubzone.org, right?
Yeah, I heard that out there.
Hubzone.org.
Yeah.
You can go in, pull up your address, and it'll tell you from something simple when we grew up, mapping, right? I tell my kids all the time, you got to know how to read a grid, look at a key, and follow a map, right? It's funny how many people don't understand that.
Right.
Well, it's built in that system. And if you look, it'll tell you which areas are highlighted to be able to get opportunity money. So now you can identify where you go. And once you identify and it says it has opportunity money, there's different degrees of that opportunity tax relief, right? The harder hit areas receive the most money. As the area gets better, the amount of money you can get is significantly less because the money is driven into areas, like he said, that most people don't want to invest in to expedite gentrification, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 things that happen. Once you identify an area, you know how much is going to be given to you. You have to go to a particular body, county, city, or CRA. And from that, so yeah, if you can zoom in there. So dark blue, light blue, and red. Red is going to be rural. Dark blue is the heaviest impacted areas. They get the most money. Light blue goes down or is cut 30 to 40% of the finance money that you can get from opportunity zones. But first things first, if you look at the map, you'll notice that every major city has an opportunity zone right outside of it, because that's the other side of the tracks where our people were put to live, to work on building the city across the tracks. So every city has one.
Every city, you heard that out there?
Every city has one. We call it the hood. That's what we got.
So when he said distress though in the clip,
the word is distress because he.
That's what that means. Yeah.
I say it like this so everybody catch it. You know what I mean? Because he said distress. He says opportunity zones are in distressed areas. I'm like,
right. That's a political way of saying it.
Exactly. That's PC.
Black communities that we would call today the hood. It's funny enough, and that's why I felt like what you're doing right here. You know what I mean? Obviously on Sis Trunk, but obviously how you can actually speak on it and how we're showing it right now live. That is in every nation, so it should be something that I want everybody to know who listen to us after the fact or live right now will be able to go see in their area that these opportunities are there. You know what I'm saying? And that they can learn. And this is the people. Shout out to them. I got straight here that's going to be able to break that down. So
because what you're looking at right here is public information granted and given to everyone who's available in this country. Black, white, green, yellow, all you need is internet, right? But now you can see the area. Once you identify, that's great. Now you have to, it goes a little further too, right? You then find the body of government that will give you this funding, right?
Right.
Then there's going to be criteria. Let's stop there for a second. Before you go after the criteria, did you even look at your neighborhood and see what it needs? See, there's a two-sided coin to this. Just getting free money is one thing. But why not? You should know what your neighborhood needs. So let me give you an example. Sis Trunk is in a food drought. What does that mean, right? In a real estate term, they say food drought. You might think, what is that? The answer is when there's a grocery store that's not within 1.1 mile of your home, you're in a food drought. You have to leave your neighborhood to actually go shopping, right? In the other neighborhoods, in less distressed areas, there's a Publix on every corner. There's a CVS on every corner.
Walmarts,
etc.
Right.
In our neighborhoods, they're further out. It's because of the density.
Food drought, right?
Food drought.
Food
desert.
Yeah.
Density of people. We don't have the density. We don't register enough voters. They don't really know our tax base. Right. So look, let's roll it back. So if you were in a neighborhood like that, opening a mini grocery store would be great, right? How would you do that? You find a building that's there. You can either buy it, which is what I suggest, is that you figure out how to purchase it and then go after funding for something so the city can give you money to rehab your property.
Gotcha.
Now, if you put in what the neighborhood needs, and the neighborhood will react.
I got a perfect for
right?
This one.
At the same time, when you build it, you're giving the jobs back to the people within the neighborhood, but you need to document everything.
Right.
Because then what you're doing is you're explaining to the city or the board, giving me these funds and help this money items in our neighborhood from work, housing, food, education, jobs. Like, you have to be able to show why you're giving them. They're giving you this money, right? All of these things that I'm talking about, I'm going to shorten it a little bit because I want to overwhelm you with the thought of it, because that's what it's done in our community. People get overwhelmed and they don't go any further. But you have to take the time. Nobody's giving you money for free. You have to put the thought into it, right?
Yep.
So here's where me and Serica align, but we're also on two sides of the coin. Serica's on the line where she's fighting to figure out how to get the opportunities to us and making it easier for us to obtain. I'm going after it to get it. So I'm on the front line trying to get it, and Serica's in a position to put me in front of political people and or city or county employees to help me walk through this application. That's what makes Serica and my group, our group and her group, it meshes, right? When we go to a meeting together in the city, they don't know what to say. Because you got front and back end. Right. And trust me, I speak a lot. I speak in the beginning as my intro. I know my place. The women on her team, they say the rest, and it's a done deal.
So real quick then, Serica, what you got to say about what he just said before we go play a clip real quick? What you think about that?
Well, no, he's right on with the opportunity zones. And what you'll notice, you guys, the terminologies change, but the idea of what redlining did to our communities and now the opportunity zones, all these things track, you know. Yeah, opportunity zones have been revamped from what they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They've been revamped. Now they have opportunity zone 2.0. Okay,
Right.
so it's the same thing. Our communities are gold mines. Our
Yeah.
communities are gold mines. Our communities are uh, right now where we have the land. If nothing else, we have the land and we have the buildings that can use the investment. So, understanding business, having someone like Devon who understands business, who can speak investor talk, who can get those people to look into our communities. These opportunity zones right now, when it comes to real estate and development, if you're in it, they're gold mines. And you can look at the map, you see where they are. And you
Right.
have the knowledge and have people like Devon and myself talking to you. You can walk into any city and start talking the language of community benefits and impacts. And you're saying what they want to hear.
For sure. For sure. As a matter of fact, before we even go into
Hey, real quick. Hey, in the chat, let me know if y'all can still hear us. Everything is good. It look like it's good on my end.
popping
We
up,
just gonna keep
it's
moving.
up
But
on
I just checked. I just want to make sure y'all, everybody giving so much gain. Sarah doing her thing and Devon, so they gonna try to slow motion this, but we gonna make sure they hear it. I think we good though.
Yeah, did is Shakay back there yet?
Nah, I saw her put in the chat. She put some, but
Yeah,
not on
Shakay,
the where we at on the back end side
yeah,
though.
you gotta come to the back office, Shakay. I need you to get on the screen if you can.
Yeah, come join the party. The link should be in your email to join us from this side.
But
I'm gonna touch on something if you don't mind while we wait for Shakay.
Go ahead.
So Serica mentioned something called redlining, right? And
Yep.
again, I feel like we as people cannot gatekeep anymore when it comes to education, right? I might know what it is, but some of the kids don't know. Some of the people before us don't know what redlining means. So with this project, the reason I'm pinpointing it is part of what we did with this project was taking to the city and saying, you know what we're going to do? We're going to break down a red line. So I had explained to them what the red line was. For us, our neighborhood did not have natural gas, right? Natural gas. That means after a hurricane, you still got electric and you can still use your stove. It ended 6 blocks from here and never came to this community. So we made it a point.
You made it a point
that we're going to bring the gas here.
Shout out to you for that.
Yeah. So we brought it here. What that did.
Yeah. That's
What we
what's up.
did now, look,
big move, y'all.
I didn't do it.
City,
It cost money.
No, but you had the active.
But put the play together, yeah.
Put the play together. I mean, listen, for me, it was epic to see because we were doing big developer things, and we're not a big developer. Right. They cut up the street down, DOT. It was like crazy to watch it. But what we did was we brought the gas line to our building for our restaurant. Because if you notice, most of our restaurants in our neighborhoods have propane tanks.
Right.
People don't realize that those propane tanks cost more money, more expensive
to run,
and
to maintain,
potentially dangerous.
Above ground, all that stuff.
High as hell. Yeah.
We're the first restaurant actively in Sistrunk with underground gas.
That part.
But as they ran the line, now this comes with real estate, right? As they run the line from 9 blocks away to my building, every block that they pass, each block is now awarded.
Just set up
natural gas. I can't pay for it. You have to bring a line from the street to your house, but you didn't have to bring it from.
But it's much easier now. Yeah,
it's easier. So when we run the numbers, 3,500 homes in this neighborhood now can get gas, and every new commercial building on our street, we put a connector in the street. Now they can get gas.
Right.
So when you take an accomplishment like that to the city and say you could have done this, but we didn't. This is where your money went. This is why you should fund our business. So when Serica said you're selling a story, you're selling and telling why it's beneficial for them to give you this money so you can impact the community.
Because as you heard about the clip we played about the opportunity zone when the man was talking about how investors, right? And you just basically broke down that same, but you obviously with us in mind of knowing how to go about doing it to where we can now get our people in our community to invest together, right? Or share, you know what I mean, and kind of share a community like how you're doing here, and be able to put the money together to be able to go buy a building or to get that opportunity. And that's why,
or find a black bank. If we
right,
organize
all these things that need to be understood to be the steps in order to do it.
Right.
It's
So
not just saying it, but doing it. How about back the book?
Somebody asked me, and he was white. We were talking about gentrification because every conversation deserves conversation, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And talking, he says to me, he says, if you had it your way, what do you think your people should have done? And the clear answer is this: buy back the block.
Buy back the block.
Right. And that doesn't just mean cash.
No.
Your grandma, your great granny, your auntie, somebody owns a house.
Right.
And before you sell it for peanuts, first find out what it's worth. And does it make sense? Because usually those homes, grandma's house is paid off. She paid 60 grand for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the minute we see the opportunity to get 200,000, first you need to realize, is it worth 500? Find out its value.
Yeah.
And then if the value's there, don't sell it for a Benz. I'm just being like, the way to do it is refinance it, pull some cash out, remodel the house, get new windows from the city, build up your value of your property, and if we keep them,
the equity,
then they can't take it.
Yeah, value.
You can't take something that's not given. People say they always say they steal the neighborhood. We sold it to them.
We sold it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that's what will get some people mad, or you know, when they hear that. But it's the reality of the situation.
It is
a lot of our families had houses, land in these communities that are now opportunity zones, right?
Yeah.
Or we could say our great grandparents or our parents sold it after, people dying off and not wanting to maintain it. All different scenarios. But
or families beefing and can't settle it. Yeah,
right now,
that happened a lot.
That's how things end up in probate. They lost that way. They lost tax liens, certain things, because now nobody's shout out to trustee friends, estate planning within their family or within the community to make sure that these properties, lands, etc., businesses even go into the proper hands so we can keep them and not be in the position that are being called opportunity zones now. So this is why, I guess, like you said, buying back the block, how to do it is, I think, Sarah, Devon have definitely testimony to this conversation and what can actually lead people in the right direction and can kind of consult them on how to go about doing this. You know what I mean? And I think it's a step in the right direction. Now, I got a clip I want to play.
Yeah, but I want to just correct you. As Sarah says, it's not consulting, we're teaching.
Teaching, excuse me. I just want to say,
because consulting come with a fee. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's definitely not making no money right now. So
listen. Obviously, we get compensated for what we do, but the biggest thing for us, I think, and Sarah can speak to it, is to pass the knowledge to you, so that you can teach someone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we can't get to everybody.
No, that's why we got you here tonight. I know you ain't gonna be able to get to know everybody. Like you're down here with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the message now is out there, and then they could reach out and you could teach. And if there's however that works out, but we're putting it out there like that because you guys are proof of concept.
Yes.
You're proof of concept of both ends working together and learning how to do things in the communities for what's happening in these opportunity zones.
Yeah.
And there was a sister that I found a clip about, and I wanted both of y'all opinions. Sarah and Devon, we can play the clip to Monte whenever you're ready. If she's still driving, she said so.
She
got it. Whenever she's ready, she can jump on. That's cool.
Sarah, you had something to say before we play this clip?
I just wanted to touch right quick on grandma house. When it comes to grandma house, y'all know y'all could turn grandma house into a museum. Like your family has history.
Like
your family has culture. And like Devon spoke about, finding out what the house is worth, reinvesting in that house, getting some home equity into the house and reinvesting, fixing up the windows, but telling the history and the culture, because cultural tourism in Florida, people travel to learn about the culture and the history of places. So it's something our community needs to think about, especially under the new regime where our history is not being told and it's being wiped out. So people need to consider how to turn grandma house into a museum or bed and breakfast or to something that now can make your family money versus now you just selling it off, and then you'll realize later you didn't get what it was really worth. And especially if it's a corner lot. I have a guy right now who came to me about selling his grandma's house, and it's a corner lot. Right,
Hmm.
one block, Devon, 1 block from the downtown.
Oh,
1 block from where they're positioning to. I was like, you will not sell that house. You will not. So those things like that is just throwing that out there. Like, you guys have history, your family history, your legacy, what it is. How old is that house, any place that's hits 50 years, you can start to look at the historic landmark registry. If it gets to 75 years, you're definitely a historic. What events happened there significant that could put that as a landmark? You're the only people that's going to tell the story and history of your family. You if someone else to tell it, they will not tell it.
Wow.
Hmm.
Never thought about it from that angle.
Yeah, me either.
That
That
ain't
makes
even-
sense. It's a lot of areas in the South period tourism is one of the main. Hey, so 50 Cent, so I'm from Shreveport in Louisiana, and 50 Cent he had bought a whole bunch of property downtown on the water off the Red River. So I know he doing the exact same thing because he working with the city and the state government, and they giving them bread to lease out and buy certain properties. So it's like they doing it at the highest level, but then you got a much smaller level that you could be doing some of the same things. You partner up with some family members or people in your community. That's what I'm hearing from y'all. It's just about knowing first where the paperwork at, understanding people who've been through the process, so you can get yourself prepared.
Right.
But now that's what's up though. So
Shoot,
you want to run that clip, Mac?
before you play the clip, Devon, by the way, you even though private market is a historical building, funny enough, I seen something on the lot, and I actually think I just reminded me sitting here with you now that this building historically, when you had to go pull some paperwork for something, I ain't gonna get into that, but you remember you had it sitting on there, you had to go do the city and everything, and it said that this area, area of Tuskegee, you know what I mean? It's called the Tuskegee Park. So that's historical in the first place. 'Cause most people don't even know, like, yo, I know how long ago that had to be for it. Like, so, you know what I mean? Because the average person don't even know that it was that economically.
This neighborhood was a test.
A test.
This neighborhood was always it's always a test.
Ain't that something?
It's always it's just what it is.
I just wanted to put that out there. I mean, because the lot said it, and I had to ask you, like, yo, why is it saying this?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
they changed it. They changed it to Dorsey River Bend because
they changed it to what?
Dorsey River Bend.
Exactly. So, but before Dorsey River Bend, it was called Tuskegee Park.
Right.
So that's why it's like that's historical.
And
you know what I'm saying to me, like
part of the test was the hospital.
Which is tied to Dr. Sistrom.
Sistrom. Yeah, I remember hearing that part. Yeah.
See, this is why historical stuff, and we're in the
This
historical
stuff matter, bro.
This building is a historical building that falls underneath like what she's just got through breaking down. Yeah. That's why I felt like this whole circle comes back around. Because what you're doing and how she just said that, it's just what it is. It's not like we're making up anything. So play a clip though, because that's why I think it goes right into that. And then we can further the conversation. I got like a little PowerPoint. I want you to tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? You and Serica. You know what I mean, tonight, based off this conversation here.
All right, I'm finna run it.
All right.
Want to buy back the block to build community wealth, but nobody's building grocery stores or clinics or daycares or schools. All right, you flipped the house, cool, but where can Miss Pam go to get her blood pressure checked? Why do they gotta catch 3 buses to get to the grocery store? If your play is just Airbnbs and rent hikes, that's not community wealth. That's just gentrification cosplaying as Black excellence. Who said that? I mean, I'll be honest, the phrase came from a good place. Buy back the blocks.
Oh, did it pause? Is it on our side?
Racial theft. And before y'all try to come and tell me that it don't exist, I would like to remind y'all that I was born and raised in Baltimore, which was the first city in America to implement legislation that directly prevented Black people from being able to purchase homes in white neighborhoods, which is one of the reasons I'm so passionate about it. I don't know how, but somewhere between the think pieces and the closing costs, buying back the block has turned more into a hashtag or an Instagram caption than a movement. For all intents and purposes, it turned into a catchphrase. Now it's all about owning property, flipping houses, and flexing on your timeline. It's not about building anything sustainable. You can't say you're buying back the block when all you're doing is raising the rent on your own people. You bought a house, staged it, flipped it, and now thanks to some aesthetic photos, you're gonna raise the rent $2,000 so that families who've been there for 30 years can't even afford to stay now? How is that freedom? Like, be fucking for real. And of course, you're only focused on the individual profit and not on the consequences this action will have on the entire community. Aunties getting priced out, kids gotta move in the middle of the school year because the lease isn't getting renewed because they wanna raise the rent and mom can't afford it. Neighborhoods very literally change overnight, and not because they got better, but because the people got pushed out. It's black investors, flippers, landlords, replicating the same extractive system. But it's okay because they black. When we say buying back the block, it should mean buying back function, not just the facade, actual community wealth. This looks like affordable rental units for the families that already live here. Grocery stores people can actually get to. A daycare that doesn't cost someone's entire paycheck. Creating after-school programs to keep kids off the streets, keep them busy, keep them entertained, help them with homework, something. Buying back the block looks like reinvesting in the infrastructure of the community, not just rooftops and hardwood floors. Because property doesn't equal power if your neighbors are living paycheck to paycheck, with nowhere to go when they're sick or hungry or struggling. So the next time I hear somebody say, oh, I want to buy back the block, I'm going to ask you, do you really want to build community, or are you just trying to build equity? It's fine if your answer is the second one, but let's just stop pretending.
Yeah, let's stop playing games. Here at
Yeah,
the party for real. What you thought about that right there?
she's right on. I played that clip
I
on
thought
my.
you the best one saying it. I'm like, she dropped the nail in this one right here. Go ahead.
She is.
You know what I mean? What you think? What you know?
I
You
mean,
said it in certain ways.
I get chills because you love it when somebody else speaks the same vision that you believe, right? So what she's saying is 100% right. It's a catchphrase. If you don't live in the community that you're buying in, and you don't spend time or patronize here, then you're full of shit. You understand? You don't eat here. You don't spend here. You don't help the kids here. You just got it for a lower price and you flipped it and you're out.
Right.
That's not what it is. So, Sarah, I'm gonna give you the floor 1 second. In order for what she's saying to happen house-wise, instead of us buying grandma's house or somebody's house and quickly fixing it up, slapping lipstick on it and selling it for individual profit or Airbnb it, because that's what happens. The reason you Airbnb in our neighborhood is the house price is cheaper, but you still get the same value as across the street.
Right.
Okay, that's simple. So what's the solution? Because people say problems. Here's the solution. If you go into your neighborhood and you buy a house, that's when you look for city funding. Because what you want to do is have them give you enough money to lower your investment so that you can still give Auntie the same rent roll that she has and you still beautify the neighborhood. It doesn't change the income that you make. You still make the same cap rate because the city subsidized you something. The problem is people don't take these subsidies and trickle them down. They turn the water. They take the subsidy, they take the profit, and nobody sees anything. It has to be a trickle-down effect. You can't try to get rich on one investment. If we want to buy back the block, you have to keep doing it and duplicating it. Because once we do 3, 4, 5 houses as a unit, now interest, special interest, people are like, we could do the same thing. You're showing opportunity by showing that it can be done.
Yeah, then they'll match your efforts.
And it
And
takes time. Go ahead, Circa.
on the other side of that coin, Lotus Mindset is very, very serious about community accountability. We don't take accountability for the shit we need to do, i.e., financial literacy. We have to make it a priority for 5-year-olds to understand financial literacy. Right now, my son understands financial literacy at a low level, basic level. It is important that we do that because if you are going to rent forever and you have children, what are you going to leave them? So we have to make sure we are putting accountability and onus on the community that, yeah, we can get people like Devon to come in to communities and get the subsidies so that the trickle down is getting to you. Your rent isn't being jacked up. But guess what? At some point, you're going to have to understand the price of living has gone up. So
Yeah.
you have to prepare yourself, your family, for what this country is doing, what this world is doing. So that's where we really focus on, the whole individual. With people, we focus on getting the financial literacy, the mindset. And it's hard to talk about a lot of this stuff with people if they're just trying to figure out how to pay rent, or if they're just
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to cover daycare, right? A lot of it is budget. A lot of it is budget. We consume more than we save,
That's lifestyle.
so that lifestyle. So getting someone to sit down with you and understand their budget and understand money, that requires community. That requires us to really go into the community and have those conversations, because yeah, while at a high level, we're working with cities and governments to get the subsidies so that we can keep the rent costs low for people. We also need to improve financial literacy and home ownership. We need to improve those things, and the only way we can do that is from the bottom up. That it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen the way you think it does by just someone coming in, fixing up, and putting in the money to fix up this house, and you think you're gonna get it for $1,200 in this market. It's not going. It's
Nah.
not going to
You
happen.
gotta be realistic.
Nah.
But
Yeah.
Serica, you're saying something, and every time you say something and it registers in my mind quickly, I have to take it. We have to take it a step back, and here's why. To peel it back, you're saying that we need to be involved. What she's saying is you have to go to community meetings, you have to go to commission meetings, you have to be the voice. We can show up to a nightclub 1,000 deep, easy, but we can't go to the city meeting so that we can press.
And it's free.
To press our commissioner to move in a direction that we want him to move in. Because if you really think about it, everybody comes around election time. That's when all the signs are out. What are they doing after they get elected? We have to keep them and hold them accountable. See, Serica, you and your team are great at this. You heard her voice at the county meeting, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's 4 more of them, and they're all working the room in a way to find out what's best for the community, from health to wealth to financial literacy, and then the kids. So if you don't actually show up, and they happen every month, they can vote something and you don't even know about it. That's a fact. You can also vote against something, but it's hard when you go to a city meeting in our neighborhood and there's the same 12 to 13 people there. Right.
Yeah.
And everybody in the neighborhood is complaining about it.
Right.
If you show up with numbers, things will happen. So that's the active participation.
I don't think that people really realize how serious you just said that, because accountability, as Serica said, most of us want to admit we get online now. It's easy to get online and talk stuff about politics, and talk bad about politicians, etc. But then a lot of us, we be like, so did you go to the town hall? Oh, I ain't go. Have you ever been to a town hall? No, I ain't never been to a town. So it's like, we get hype about politics on who voted for the president or something,
right?
But like when it's time in the actual community, like right now, Luke is running for commissioner, and you just brought up commissioner, right? So it's like you have to hold him accountable.
Congress.
You got to hold everybody accountable.
I mean, everybody.
Yeah, he running for Congress. He running for Congress, man.
Running for commissioner, 100%. He's in that position of somebody you would want to hold accountable, and you would want to know who your commissioner is to hold accountable. I don't think people really pay attention to it as much as
they don't, because if you ask most people how many votes does it take to pass anything in your city, if you don't know, then you don't know anything. Because if you have 5, then every commissioner has different points of view. Right. Who do you support? Who do you like? If we need 3 of 5, then 3 of 5 of those commissioners need to hear our voice to vote in the favor that we want them to vote. Not into their special interests, right? So you have to just something as simple as that. If you don't know when the meeting is, you don't know who's voting. How do you move anything if you don't know?
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, that's the question
Yeah.
that and
And it's a lot.
the opportunity zones and everything too, right? Because you don't know what the funds or anything that's coming in to your area or what's impacting the area, schools, etc., whatever. If you don't go to these meetings and know, or even have representation, like Sarah and them, that you are going to these meetings and say, hey, this is what's happening, y'all. This is the time for us to show up and do this or to do that, or you know what I mean? Exactly. So go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry.
A lot of our people, and I call it the hospital bed syndrome. We're all in the hospital bed, and you're complaining to the person next to you that your leg hurt. Meanwhile, the nurses and the doctors and everybody who can help you is walking by, and you got a little button right here you can press to tell them to come in. But you complaining to the person next to you.
Mhm.
These aren't the people who are. That's not the
That can
person
help
that's going
you.
to help you
Right.
because they are in the hospital with
With
you for
Right.
something that's affecting them. And we have to understand
That's a fact.
as much as you don't trust, we don't trust the government, guess what? That's business. But if I can come in and show you where there's a benefit to me, you doing business with me, you're going to do business with me. And it ain't about this isn't about trust so much. You have money you have to spend, right? In governments don't do the work. They pay contractors to come in and do the work. They don't
Yeah.
actually do the work. Government contracting, okay? They have staff that does things far as cutting the grass, and even they're even looking at how to outsource these things. So if you have a landscaping company, there may be a contract come available that cuts you a piece of doing the grass, maintaining the grass on this district. That could be a $500,000 contract. But if you're not in the system, you don't have your paperwork, and you're not bidding on these things, you could lose that opportunity there. All of these things right now in our communities are things that have been in place. Like I say, Devon didn't just come and they created a program for him. This stuff been in place. You know, we just didn't have the education, and we didn't have the proof of concept. Now, with the proof of concept of what Devon has done and the work that we're doing with Lotus Mindset in Pompano, we're able to really tell people the real. And that's not just our community. We talk with cities too, because a lot of cities don't know how to invest into communities and don't know what communities actually need because they don't have that relationship. It
Mhm.
requires you to have a relationship with the community. And if your community doesn't have the proper representation, i.e., who they elect, you know, if your commission our commission right now in Pompano, we have one black woman on the commission, but we have two predominantly black districts. Okay, so do we have fair representation in race? No, but we do have representation. So those things matter when you're talking about going in and doing business with your city and doing business in your communities. You need to understand the politics that are at play because they are at play. And if you're not able to affect their bottom line, which is voting, that's one thing I'm good at. I'm good at affecting who gets elected. And then when you understand that power that you have, if you got a person in your community that they can say, hey, meet me at City Hall, and 50 people show up, and the 50 people don't say nothing, they just there because that one person, guess what that is? That's influence. That's 50 people you can
Mhm.
tell to go vote. The last congressional race where the race that Luke is running in, that
Yeah.
last race was won and decided by 5 votes. I have 5 registered voters in my house. A congressional seat came down to 5 votes. So understand that when you can show them that you have people that can go out and vote you out, who got the power now?
Hey,
We do.
we the people, they say, as they say. We the people.
Yeah. We just don't look at it that way, but that's a fact though.
That's
Yeah.
a powerful thing to really look at it from the
Yeah.
perspective of how she just said it, though. But unless some
Mhm.
people put initiative to understanding how powerful it is in your actual community, you know what I mean? Since, you know, they say it's the opportunity zones and development of your community, right?
Right.
So this is why, you know, again, we always do like a little PowerPoint, and I want you
That's
to give
cool.
me the feedback, you know what I'm saying? Because we try to be educating, but we try to be
It's all good.
you know, educational at the same time. So you can slide down, Monte, and then Serica and Devon, y'all could tap in anytime you want to look at anything and tell me what y'all think about whatever is here. So the overview, as we talked about today, for everybody that's tapped in when it's live. And again, you know, we know these conversations on our show on Sunday be the more, some people might call it boring. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's a bad thing for me to even say.
Which is crazy, but it's
I
true.
have to say that because whenever we talk about trust or insurance policies, we have special guests talking about. People just don't tap in. People are not as excited. You know what I'm saying? And we should be. You know what I'm saying? We should be more. We should got to be more into this information that's going to impact our communities. You know what I mean? And the development of it. So, federal program established in 2017.
Yep.
So that's when the opportunity zone was created, right?
Yeah.
So obviously that would say, what year was this? Coming out of Obama, then going to Trump?
Trump, yeah. Trump. This is part of Trump's policy. I'm not getting political.
Right. No, just the fact.
Just a fact.
It's a fact.
It's a Trump policy.
Trump policy.
Yeah.
But you got to read. You just got to read between the lines.
We're talking.
They've made it the easiest it's ever been for us to see it.
Facts.
It's about going to get it now.
Right. You
just got to go get it.
You had another spot in Miami. Was there an opportunity zone?
The Kush?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was still an opportunity zone too.
But I did that
by the stadium.
By the stadium. But I did so. That was the first time I realized how to get. It's called procurement, right?
Okay.
How to procure these contracts with the government and stuff like that. That was more on it's called ED, economic development level.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted more businesses because we had Super Bowl coming up in 2 years,
right?
And the city needed to look good, right? So they needed to put more businesses, right?
That's some.
And that was some incentive money that they were. It was not. I didn't get too much. A lot of it was our own money, but either way, that was the first way. Yes,
I'm gonna say, but the first, it still fit into that category.
It fits in that category. Yeah.
So it encourages investments, right?
Mm-hmm.
In designated low income communities, because all them communities around, or even where we're at now, are considered low income.
Right.
All right. So
but the encouragement part is this. Let's translate that. Encouragement means a subsidy, money that they'll give you to invest in this area versus another area. Okay. So let's just break it down. If you go build your own or buy a house and remodel it yourself, it's all your own money. Right. If you do this in the opportunity zone and you buy the property and let them give you the money to rehab it, you didn't invest the rehab money. So your investment is less, hence your risk level is less.
Gotcha.
That's what they mean by encouraging investment.
All right. So uses of qualified opportunity funds. Let's go. You know, an acronym I ain't used to. KOFs.
Yeah.
You might know.
QOF. So, Sharka, you got this. You want me to get it? Can we hear?
She messing with a mic.
Okay. All right. So uses qualified opportunity funds. Okay. Every fund has a special use. Okay, that's what they mean. So things you can do with the money is what uses means.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? What can you do with the money? Some have commercial impact, some have small business impact, some have structural impact. Those impacts are what you could do. So, for example, on the structural side, they might say, okay, our fund has 25 million, and for that 25 million in this area, we're going to do home efficiency, windows, doors, AC, roofing. Those are the things that keep the energy efficiency for the neighborhood. Bring the house from a 1961 energy loss to a 2026 energy efficient home.
Gotcha.
Okay. Small business. They might say, for small business, we'll give what they call is build out money. So if you go lease somewhere, we'll give you the build out money based on your total investment in the project.
Okay.
It'll be based on a percentage. You now can lease a place, work the deal with your landlord. I'm getting money from the city. I don't want to pay rent till I CO, which means close out. Until you close out, you can open. So now you have a place, which is a deposit. You got the approval from the city, and now the uses of funds are going to be to build out the inside of the space.
Boy, listen, he just dropped some game on y'all. Now y'all have to watch it, go back and
Facts.
rewind some of this right here.
So that's one use. Two use. Oh, okay. Now structural building use, right? You're a developer. This is out of my league. Right. A big developer comes in, or we encourage a black developer to come in. See, there's multiple ways to bring business here. You could still be the broker and bring a developer in. You just gotta know what the incentives are.
Right.
So here we go. Somebody's gonna build a building. You find out what's wrong with the neighborhood. Affordable housing is an issue. All right, we're gonna do 80 units on this lot, make it affordable. The whole project costs $30 million. The city will subsidize you up to 15 million. Okay, but then you have to give X amount of units to affordable housing.
Yeah.
Okay? So those are the uses.
That's the use.
The ones you're able to get within their wheelhouse, which is where Serica and her team puts you, right? They do the research, they do what the neighborhood needs, and they give you the answers to your questions, essentially. Right. And then you have to fill in the gap. So those are all the uses between those three. I mean, there's millions of them, but I'm just giving you an idea.
No, I just wanted you to just come. You don't got to give them everything. Now, I just give them just the overview. You see, it's the overview. You know what I mean? So you give them a lot though, so people to go research if they're interested and get back at it. Monte, you can slide down though whenever you want.
All right.
So how it works, I think you broke down a lot of it. Just really just now. I'm at the sleep. We can't catch up with the screenshot. You know what I mean? But it's the capital gains are invested into the same acronym KOS, which you just broke down. Invest in qualifying opportunity zone projects. Projects would be like somebody even investing maybe in something with you. For instance, that property market, like that example.
Yeah. So
go ahead, Sarah.
No, it could be investing in those opportunity zones. It could be property acquisition. It could be land. If you're investing, taking those capital gains and investing back into those opportunity zones, using those qualified uses, they are able to keep more of what they make when they have that investment in there. So they're not taxed on it, and they get actually tax benefits. They get tax incentives when they are investing in opportunity zones.
Okay. So here's how that works, right? You spend the same money you'd spend anywhere in any other neighborhood. Okay. So you spend $100,000, let's just say. Your $100,000 here in the opportunity zone, you get a tax benefit, which will probably be a credit. You get an incentive for being there, which means you can push and defer your taxes out longer.
Okay.
Right. And then you could qualify based on the amount you invested for an additional gain. So on this side of the block, same 100,000 here, other side of the street. On that 100,000, they're paying $2,000 in taxes. On this side, you got a check for 5,500. You understand? Running the same business.
Right.
So the government will give you incentives over the course as long as you stay here.
Okay.
So that's more cash in your pocket, but that comes at the end of the year, and the initiative is for you to file taxes.
Right.
He broke that down. All right. I mean, Sarah, before we slide, anything you want to say about that? Or he covered it?
Nope, he covered it.
Okay, slide to the next one then. See, this is our first one of the Buy Back the Block series of conversation we're gonna have. Like, obviously, funny enough, I brought Monte from when I do Maroonville every year, and obviously people that I've met on this podcast, we call it Maroonville. So I use it as an example because, like, we have a community. Right. Shout out to everybody that's tapped in right now, and after the fact, people that subscribe, you know who you is. Mixed use development. So, for instance, like it's like Sistrunk, we have a Maroonville community, right? We could just say Sistrunk.
Sarah, that's all you. I'm passing the ball to you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Development, community marketplace. Cause see, you have a marketplace. That's why I thought about, the example, Provident Marketplace, right? And then it's just hospitality and cultural tourism, which I've seen a lot of that go on around here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Affordable housing. We've definitely met people that have done programs in this area or we will want to do that, for instance, a Maroonville scenario in our own community. And then small business incubators, you know what I mean? So I wanted y'all feedback on all these things right here. Go ahead, Sarah. He said it's on you.
Yeah, so your mixed-use development is really going to be taking a vertical building. Your bottom floor retail and your top floors are your living quarters, your apartments. And what that does is here in Florida, we have what is called a Live Local Act, and they actually incentivize developers to build that type of development. It creates density, and that's what's happening in Pompano, where they're building a downtown. And if you create that density, you're creating walkable space. If you have that bottom floor retail full of whatever those people on the top would need, i.e., a cafe, a la bodega, a marketplace, a cell phone shop, something. These people probably are working in the community that they live in. So these mixed use developments are typically in downtown areas, and they try to be in areas where there are high density. Your community marketplace, Provident Market, is what a great example of a community marketplace where people can come and they can actually buy the things that they need or want, and they're working in tandem with each other. Your barbershop, your um podcast studio, a restaurant, having places like that where people are communing. The big thing about community marketplace is you want people to commune, you want people to talk, to get to know each other, because then that's where the synergy is created for community to continue to circulate those dollars within the community.
Right.
We have to continue to create that cycle where we are keeping the money in our community. So community marketplaces are, they're essential to us building wealth in our community, because we want to keep the money circulating in our community. Um, Hospitality and cultural tourism. I'm really big on these two because people come to Florida for the sunshine state, all right? But we have a lot of culture in Florida that is untapped, and it is a tourist, like it is what tourists want to see, the stories that aren't told online, that haven't made the screens yet. They are, hey Shakay, they are where honestly people spend money to come. So your
Yeah.
hospitality requires you to have the hotel. It requires you to have the restaurants and the things that people want to come and visit, and the cultural tourism. So events.
Hold on,
Sistron is a
okay, you got your mic
Yes.
open?
Yes. You can hear
Close
me?
your mic real quick so we can get
Okay.
the feedback. I think we're getting feedback. I want people to you hear it too, right? I'll hear it just real quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead, though. Go ahead, Sherika. Then we might have to close the mic.
cultural tourism. Sistrunk is a prime example of cultural tourism. Cultural tourism. People will come and continue to come till this day to experience what Sistrunk is. Sistrunk Festival, the culture, all of those things are opportunities. Excuse me.
Yep. And that's why we came in. We came to come check it out. You know what I'm saying? So first hand account.
Yeah, exactly. I think that shout out to you from the first time I came, and I the beginning, and he got to see years later what you developed
Yeah.
as I kept bringing people to this same opportunity. You see what I'm saying? I felt that's why I wanted people to see every year that we've done Maroonville, for instance. Real quick though, shout out to Chicane who just came up.
Hey,
The other
I am late coming too. I'm late. Sorry. But
all
I
good.
am here. I probably need to change where I'm at because of my background. How can you guys see
You
my
live.
background?
I mean, we see
Huh?
your background. I mean, you outside.
Nah, you all good.
But is it
The main
loud?
thing is just being able to hear each other, because it's like feedback. You must don't have no headphones in.
So let me put my headphones in.
Yes,
Yeah, it
man.
might
And we
help
gonna
you
be
with the
good to go.
feedback because
You
of
ain't
Okay,
gotta
let me
change
put
no
my headphones
background.
in. All right,
Yeah.
give me one
you
second.
good.
All right, cool.
Okay, while she's doing that, then go to the next slide. So we want to make
For
sure we
sure.
cover PowerPoint before we get out of here tonight. And I got to give a shout out to Chicane before she get out of here too.
Yeah.
The strategy, you know what I'm saying? Partner with experienced developers, right? I think you have a great opportunity to teach people about that, and obviously what you've done. You know what I mean? Working with different developers that you started in the beginning to talk about. Acquire strategic properties. I think the one you have here on 6th and 9th is strategically centered, you know what I'm saying, because of where it's located at, also known as power line. You know what I mean?
Perfect location.
Yeah, and then promote community ownership and employment. I think you're giving people ownership opportunities to own businesses in one building, and obviously now allowing them to employ people, which comes to the same building, which is creating development within that what you call economic
development. You're right.
Yeah, economic development space. You know what I mean, within the different businesses involved, and this is align projects with ministry mission, because like as myself, ministry Sunday service is why we wanted to have you on here, because of the fact that this is like things that we would want to promote from our ministry side to the Black communities,
real nation building
across the nation. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So
and it's a blanket. All the stuff that you're showing on the side, the slides are blanket items, right? And to break them down, partner with experienced developers. So there's certain things that we know are out of our reach to purchase.
Right.
So let me give you an example. I was working with Serica and the group. We went to Palm Beach. There's a piece of property that we saw. It was one property, but through conversation and being one with the neighborhood, we found a larger opportunity, right? When it says partner with an experienced developer, the owner of the property, that's what's strategic about it, right? She has it already. Now it's us putting it together to get a developer and a concept to do something, because sometimes things are out of your reach, but it still could be sold and marketed to somebody who's not in your reach, right? Who there's developers everywhere. You have to bring them an idea and a concept,
right?
And if you can help them acquire funding like this because of what your skin color looks like, or because you meet the demographic, that can also be an opportunity. Right? Acquire strategic properties. That's kind of what Serica was talking about with museums. There's a lot of historical stuff in our neighborhood. And if you keep it historical, you can get historical money. If you go to the CRA, you get CRA money. And if you can leave some sort of legacy of education via picture, small room, museum, you can get funding from the government.
Can you real quick, you or Serica, can you guys, you just said an acronym, CRA. Can you give people the acronym breakdown of CRA, what it does?
It's called the Community Redevelopment Association.
And there's one in every
some people
type thing.
If in your city it's either a CRA or it could go as economic development.
Okay.
Some people have CRAs, some people don't, but they change the name and it's the same protocols.
Same protocol. I don't want people might go to research in their area. It might be called something different.
It may be called something different. It's legislative. So every city, every state is going to have legislation around how economic development and opportunity zones are.
Is this my thing that I'm going to
I'm sorry, my son is in trouble.
I think also with CRAs and associations like that as well. I'm new coming in, so this is all with development and everything. It's new to me, and being that I'm new to community, I take this language like right now, listening to you guys talk about the redlining and understanding buying back the block. Looking at that clip, I was able to get a better understanding of what's buying back the block, because understanding that there's two, the one with the equity, which someone who does go back and it looks like they're buying back the block, but they're also charging the community double the price, and understanding the understanding of what buying back the block is to keep it affordable for the community. So just knowing that it's two different sides when you say buying back the block, that was something that I didn't know. And, just watching, getting this information, knowing the difference. And I think my role in it is to be the voice to the community who don't know, and not because they don't want to know, because they're ignorant to it. And when I say that, is because it's something new to them. So me coming from that ignorance and learning about redevelopment, buying back the block, redlining, CRA, infrastructure, learning that stuff, being able to bring it back to them. So sitting in these conversations and, understanding what CRA is, because right now they're making it like CRA is something bad for the community, because they don't understand what CRA is and why they are in the community or why they're in your neighborhood. What do they do? What's the benefits of having CRA there?
That's a fact. That's why I wanted to make sure it was broken down that way. Shout out to you, Shakay, for saying that. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, that's what we strategies that we have to understand on how to go about buying back the block. And how you said the differences of it is, because some people think going back to buy back the block is just saying that I own a property, I bought a property in the hood, you know what I'm saying? But
and the reality of it is, no matter what, somebody is coming to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you can complain. It would just be better to be educated and then get with people that you know to do something about it, because if not, then we got more of the same that's coming down the way, except this time people literally have a chance to be wiped out of their neighborhoods because they won't be able to afford to live there no more if they don't get more proactive. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I appreciate y'all breaking this down, because this is a much needed conversation for sure.
Yeah, again, I always try to make sure we have these type of conversations from time to time. And, I know people like to hype, and we always can do that, history and all that other stuff. But this type of conversation, especially with having somebody that I know closely, like how I know him, and obviously how I've met Serica at Provident Market, you know what I mean? I wanted to give my shout out to y'all because of what I see y'all doing together. And shout out to Shakay with all the things, me and her talked. Matter of fact, me and Shakay actually sat down first. And we were having a conversation at Provident Market, funny enough, don't lie. And
just having a conversation, actually doing an interview, didn't know that we were interviewing each other for this conversation.
Exactly. We were really, and you saw us, we were sitting there in the front and we was going back and forth talking about, okay, we're going to do something in the future. We're going to try to do brunches and all this other stuff, little venue, bringing people, and etc. I'm like, yeah, but I want to have a conversation about this though. I think people really got educated about what it means to buy back the block. We've got to give them a template of what it means. So when we bring them to have the conversation we were investors in, they really know what we're aiming for. You know what I'm saying? And again, she saw that they, as we hear today, that, this is one of the steps of me wanting to introduce it to my platform, what I've learned from being at Provident Market and just within your conversation of meeting Serica, because that's just how it happens. That's what we need these places for. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
It should be put on. I'm glad you put it on the platform. I'm going to touch on the last one just because when they write things like this, you need to read through it a little bit, right? The Alive Project with Ministry Missions. That's the easiest way of saying do something good for the community.
Right.
Here's where I it's not that I disagree with it, but I think that going straight to faith-based missions doesn't really satisfy everything in the community.
Of course it don't. No,
right?
It doesn't.
So
Correct.
I say that to say this, and there's a lot of red tape. So I deal with a lot of kids after school. School's about to start. There'll be 10, 15 kids in here that we mentor or allow them to do their homework or just come off the street, wait for their parents to pick up. These are Black male initiatives that me and my partners put together, right? You don't have to go to a ministry to do it. You just have to put your best foot forward and show what you can do for the community.
Right.
Some kids aren't receptive to faith-based anything.
No, I get that part.
Some kids need to be kicking it in the barbershop.
I definitely understand that part.
But that's the type of ministry, I'm about. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we got a street ministry.
I'm not trying to go. When we say ministry, and yes,
no, but I'm just saying, if somebody sees it,
they're gonna understand.
You also have something in your heart.
Yeah,
you could do what's in your heart as long as you can document it.
Right. You just want to do it the right way.
Like for us, we tell people we teach these kids chess. We have chess tournaments all day, every day. School starts. It's not chess; it's conversation. The kids are able to let something off their mind. There's so much beautiful, talented Black and brown kids on the street that just need a little love. That's it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just have to be that. It could be
an opportunity.
Yeah, an opportunity. Like I document every mentee that we have, and I'll just make it short. There's one young man. Big shout out to Nico.
Yeah. When
I met him, first thing I had to do after meeting him was the next day go to school because he brought a gun to school. It was one of those pellet guns, but nevertheless, they're throwing him out of school. He went from being thrown out of school to now he's at the top of his class for the police department, and he's going straight into the academy. That's 3 years of growth that we've documented. He's with every commissioner has him to the left of them to show what the neighborhood has done. We don't take credit for it. That's not what you do it.
You have to give credit to it now.
You just give it now. We have to give credit to it because without worrying about anything else but giving this young man an opportunity to stay off the street and stay alive, he found his own way, and now people see it.
Right.
So it could be that. It could be just food, shelter. I mean, if you're here, anybody who's walking in front of the restaurant or whatever, they're hungry, they're thirsty. We're just doing God's work anyway.
Well, matter of fact, perfect. Shakay, I got something for you. I know you were running late today, right? But do you mind me showing a clip of something that you doing? Because you talk to the
Sure.
youth too. And I found a clip of you talking to the youth, and I feel it goes right in this. And you came late. I wanted to do it earlier, but I got to give a clip of you and what you do too, because I think you fall right in line with what I seen him just say, obviously, and what you I've seen. So we can play this clip real quick. And you talking to the youth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm about to run it.
All right, let's run it.
Is our story. Right. And I have to thank Tim because I remember being at a networking event where she was asking me to make more money and I was scared because
Pause, y'all still hear us?
I was receiving a check at the beginning of the month and I was able to stay in my apartment rent free. I was comfortable. I was okay. I had enough. My daughter had all the Jordans and everything and I was okay with that. But then what happened was I took a step outside and self-reflect. And what happens is we look at the internet now, Instagram, and I start to see what was going on around me and what I had going on. And I was known for having all the tea. If anything was going on, you could call my phone and I'm going to tell you who did what, how it happened. And that's not what I wanted. So what I did was I changed the flavor of the tea. And I got in rooms to where I could be beneficial to people, to the youth and to my community, to let them know like, hey, this is not our story. Poverty isn't our story. We are excellent. We deserve the life we desire.
That you deserve,
and
yes.
My first networking event was October 2023.
All right now. So again, you've been active, you know what I'm saying? And you were just talking to the youth from the time I mean, you've been busy, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to both of y'all ladies, but both of y'all angles of how y'all go about it, because y'all partners, Bottom Up Podcast. And again, I had to show a clip from both y'all active in the community doing things. So hopefully, y'all ain't mad at me for either one of y'all clips.
No, absolutely. I love that clip. Actually, that's one of the clips I want actually to be represented when they are, talking about me, because it tells my story and it gives you the story to how I get to where I am at now, and why I am in these rooms talking to the youth. Because like I told them at the beginning of this, the beginning of the video, I had just wrote a letter to my 13-year-old self. And being able to have the opportunity to speak that into another 13-year-old teen, it's an opportunity that I've been looking for. So now I'm in new classes and I'm giving out tea. And watching this podcast tonight, I just got a new flavor of tea. Because now I'm learning about buying back the block. So I'm in rooms now because of the language. Like the earlier video that you guys showed earlier with the guy. And Devon was like, he understood what he was saying perfectly because he was talking his language. I didn't understand what he was saying because I didn't know. But sitting in this podcast forum and hearing Devon speak, I'm able to interpret it now to my language. So now when I go sit with my peers or when I'm sitting in front of those kids, I'm able to have that same conversation in that video, but I'm speaking their language.
That's true.
100%.
Actually, that's the reason why we did this. Actually, that was the message when you just said.
Yeah, translation.
That's what we want. The translation part, the barriers got to be broken. And we got to start getting the language from people like Devon that can speak it this way, and also hear those like that, and then be like, okay, this is what that means, y'all. This is what we need to go do, and then we can be like, okay, all right, we get it. And we got to be humble enough to understand. And we don't understand everything. We're not in these financial literacy. It is.
And that goes back to even when I'm with Serica. And so like me and Serica could be talking sometimes and she'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna just go over here and I'm gonna say this to them. No, you're not gonna say this to that to them, because they don't understand what you're saying. So they have to understand it this way. You can't say it that way. They don't understand what you're saying. This is how you say it. And that's because they don't understand that language. It starts to sound scary, or she's talking down, or you know what I'm saying? No, that's not what she's saying. This is what she's saying, and this is why it's said. So just having that translator, because that's how I am with Sarah. And a lot of times I'm listening because I'm learning, and then I have to come back and replay it back to her. Okay, so when they just said this is what happened. And she looked at me and she nod. So now I know how to give that message, and I know how to give that same message, but in the language they would understand.
That's right.
I'll tell you something. When I was on the contract, my firm and I, we were on contract with the city of Pompano to educate the community about the downtown project. And they had a FAQ, 10 questions that were always coming up about the downtown project. And these questions also had answers, and they were broken down in simplest terms, all right, of what it is. This the question, here's the answer. And I'll never forget in a communication meeting I was having, one of the people from the city asked me if I could break it down to the community more. I took offense to it because it was already in the simplest form,
Yeah.
right? And
Mm.
understanding that there are things that are above me, I don't understand, right? And if I'm not getting sitting down, if I'm first of all, if I'm not interested, if I'm not even interested in it, then it don't even matter, right? I got to be interested in it to even want to know more about it,
That's the
Right.
right?
main thing.
So there are terminology and political jargon that's used to redirect us, to make us not want to look further. But it is very important that we really get around people smarter than us.
Yeah.
We got to get around people smarter than us. Not that you're looking down, not that that's not it. I'm not the smartest person on my team. When people hear me speak, I am quick. Like, I am not the smartest person on my team. And I love that because I'm always learning. And we got to make sure we give space for our Black intellects, for people who know what the hell they talking about. We
Yeah.
need them. We need them.
Thanks.
And they're not speaking white. They're not Uncle Toms. They are the people who are going to give, they're our Black architects. They're
Mm.
the ones who
Mhm.
are building the future for our kids. And we got to create space for them.
Right. You gotta have heads of everything. And like you said, I mean, I stay in my lane. You know what I mean? I like to stay in my lane. If it's something I don't know about, that's why, for instance, I got Devon on here, and I got you tonight on here because I think both y'all are smarter than me when it comes to about buying back the block. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are having those conversations. Even though I could be like, I got rooms I'm in because real estate. My wife in real estate, you in real estate. So you know what I mean. But that's not like, oh, I'm act like I can speak all the words and all the acronyms and you know what I'm saying, and the language. You know what I mean, of that industry. So you gotta let the people that's in your community that can lead you in those industries to get us where we need to go, and then give the programs back so that we can now the rest can learn how to get into that door. Knock down the door first, though. We gotta knock down these
Yep.
doors because right now we getting
That's
left
why
out.
I'm interested in learning
You know
the
what I'm saying?
language.
Right.
We have to
Mm-hmm.
work. We have to work. We have to work with each other, right?
Yeah.
So let's just run it, right? I come to you to try to help you do something. I notice in our community, we're quicker to go pay the other man than we are our own people,
Right.
right? We don't. That's what I feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the same things I'll say to you, you'll take better from someone else on a trust level,
Yeah.
regardless if that person has the best interest in it for you or not.
Right.
So it's an uphill battle to talk white or to talk the language and try to get somebody to understand this is the way to do it. I'm going to teach you how to do it. You're going to pay me a fee, but you don't like my fee, but you pay the fee down the street.
Pay the other man though.
We have to stop
Yeah.
doing that to each other. We got to trust each other a little bit.
Right.
I mean, do the research on use your research, everybody. But, if you could go with this Black company, go with this Black firm.
Right. Stick to them. Yeah.
And hold it.
And go with this Black firm
Hold
because
them
they
accountable.
definitely gonna have the best interest and they know what you want. But I think what we have a problem is we don't want them to know our business.
Yeah, we got one of
Yeah.
them kind of like bipolar
Like,
situations going on when
That's
it
that
comes to
community
like,
bullshit that be
but
yeah.
yeah, we need to know your business so we can put you in the best position that fits you because we don't want to put you somewhere where it doesn't fit and now you can't fulfill the
can't
needs.
find
You can't
service.
fulfill what's
Right.
needed. because you painted a picture and that wasn't the space that you needed to be in. So I need to know your business so I can put you in a space to help you grow. So I can put you in a space that's going to make you successful. Versus you going over them, they just coming over there for one. They're probably gonna give you a higher interest rate or whatever it is. It's not going to be genuine. Knowing that you look like me, I want to make sure I put you in the best space. So I need to know your business. But that's what happens. We don't want you to know our business. And a lot of it happens when it comes to even with real estate. You don't want me to know your paycheck situation, but I need to know that because I need to make sure I put you in a space that you can afford.
Yeah. You ain't gonna get around it when you get to them points anyway. So
yeah, like I need to put you, I need to know that. But by you don't want me to know that you struggled 6 months ago, you're going to take it down the street to someone else.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
I've seen this
I need to know that you struggled 6 months ago because I need to know your pattern because I still need to know how to place you to make sure you're successful. And it's just breaking it down to them in that language. I'm telling you why you need to trust this Black guy because for this reason. So they need to know that. They not understanding why all you keep thinking is, oh, I don't want them in my business. Oh, they gonna talk about me. They is too.
Hey, that's why again. I mean, go ahead, Monte.
Nah, I was just so that's a common thing that all the Black communities is suffering from a lot of the same issues. Like it's hard being a Black professional, right? Because you want to go show up to these spaces where ain't none of your people never been, but you trying to be the one to go learn the game and go bring it back to them. But it's not always met with welcoming arms. You feel me? Sometimes you got to fight folks to teach them, and that can get frustrating. That's why we got platforms like this. To where we come chop it up, we give game and shit. Sometimes be each other therapists because you would think everybody and their mama would want to know this and be open. We should never have a problem packing out no room to give this type of information that's free, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's not always like that. And last thing I want to add is we talk about ownership, we talk about buying the block, but it's another thing that a lot of times people overlook is what needs to happen to buy the block is you need certain trades that's going to be booming. And right now in our community is not enough of us. I come from a trade background, got a lot of money doing trades, working with my hands. And so being in construction right now in these areas, boy, you can really come up as a young man or woman. Shit, there's a lot of women getting in the game now too. But electrician, you got to pay electricians. You got to pay plumbers, and they getting a lot of money to do what they do. And that upside is very high for these type of trades, and you don't need no degree. 2 years, you could be in the game making a whole lot of money in your neighborhood, getting these contracts that Devon them talking about, because Devon not about to do all his own work. He's going to contract that out, and you could be the one getting that contract.
Right. Yeah. But saying that is a true statement. On top of that, is if you are going to go into the trade, you need to handle your business the way that everybody else handles their business. There's no exception.
Because no nigga business.
If I give you $1 and you tell me it's done Wednesday, it needs to be done Wednesday, not Thursday. And if I tell you I'm upset that it's done Thursday, don't call me a hater.
It's corrective criticism.
It's right. It's constructive.
I gave you the business, so I should get a check you too.
Right, but I say that to say I had a lot of issues with my contractors. They didn't show up.
Yeah.
And it makes me like, man, I just call these Chicos right now. I could get out of my neighborhood, find other guys who will do it and do it faster. So I've had to have that conversation with people, and we need to just hold ourselves accountable and do good business.
Correct.
If somebody gives you the opportunity, show up 5 minutes early, get it done 5 minutes early, like do the right work so you can be referred again.
Yep.
Building your business, right? So, I feel like the work is there. And if we had trade, as long as we have work ethic, the money's there too. Because there's a lot of contracts that we don't get because we don't have the right mental thought process, right? You're gonna go for a $2 million contract. Don't worry about the money you have right now. Procure the contract and get ready to build and grow. Ready to hire more people. Like there's contracts that you can get, but then you need to have more insurance. So investing in the insurance to get the $2 million contract.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. Like just because you got rejected because your insurance wasn't high enough, call your insurance carrier, raise your insurance, get the contract. If you're gonna make more money you can afford the insurance.
So, you know, I can't see.
I just see people get knocked out all the time for those simple things.
For small, yeah. Nah, you're right.
And they're looking short sight. Oh man, I gotta pay $5,000, but you're gonna make $150,000. Put the $5,000 up, bet on yourself, and let God put the rest in God's hands. It's gonna work out.
That's faith-based, so see. You put all your effort in, and then like you said, the rest is like you said in God's hand. You gotta do what you do though. And then you have
some stuff you can't control.
That you know are working with you in your community. That's who you put your faith in, or we should be having faith in. And we have problems there too, but we ain't gonna get into that tonight because I ain't come to, you know, as your case say, give you that kind of tea. I really want to be positive.
A different type of tea.
Right. This tea we drinking on is therapeutic for y'all. And it's going to help you go read a book on this education on these opportunity zones we talked about tonight. And it's going to make y'all go and look into some real estate and how you can take advantage of your family's estate planning futures. You heard me? And that's what we want to talk to y'all about tonight on Sunday service. You heard me? Yeah.
The tea. Sunday night tea.
Yeah.
And Shakir, that's the good you going to call it for now. That's Sunday night tea. You heard me? Yeah.
Sunday night tea.
Sunday night tea. You heard me? Yeah.
It's the reset. It resets your mind, to refocus.
No, for sure. I want to just give a shout out to Shakay and Serica, the Bottoms Up podcast. Can you tell them where to find you guys at on Instagram and everywhere else real quick before we get out of here tonight?
Well, you can find us on YouTube. It's Bottom Up Podcast on YouTube. We also have Instagram, and it's Bottom Up Podcast. It's _ Bottom Up Podcast. We have our personal business pages. I am Miss.Shakay _MYB_CNSLT. And that's on Instagram. And then Serica is also on Instagram as well. And
that's Serica SARAHCA_INC. You'll find me on that across all platforms. TikTok, Facebook. I'm not on Snapchat. Shakay gotta get me on Snapchat. I'm not on there. I'm not on
I haven't worked Snapchat. I have Snapchat, but I just use it for videos.
I already know. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You, man. I'm leaving it off with you, man. You my last guy. I want you to tell everybody what you got. You know what I mean? What's poppin'?
You know, get with the girls, you can find me. But I want to say this. We talked about money and buying back the block. We talked a little bit about faith. But I think for me in closing, if you're going to get into any of the communities, you have to get right with the police department, with the fire department, with the politics, the commissioners. You need to know who your city. You need to you have to move that way, because if we're really going to buy back the block, aren't we also supposed to be building the block to be a better community?
Yeah. Controlling the block.
You know, I've noticed
securing the block.
Yeah, securing. I've noticed by being here, I'm good with the police chief. I'm good with the sergeant. Oh, police are always here.
Right.
So I think sometimes when people see your engagement like that, sometimes they're nervous, but once they realize we're all here for one reason, right? To do the right business.
And you're securing black business.
Yeah.
Right?
And you people need to make it home safe.
I'm a business in the community. Of course, I have to be close with the police, right? At the same time, when you're
you ain't a snitch for that.
No,
I was going to say it like that.
He a businessman, bro. That don't even got nothing. Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm trying to
right. Why would somebody even? I'm being redundant about rhetorical, but I think that's crazy. But you're right though. The point of the matter is you definitely have to be plugged in.
You got to be plugged into your community, because then you have a heartbeat. I think it's the biggest effect I see is when Serica and her girls walk in and a commissioner sees them. They're concerned, the commissioner,
right?
Because now you're hearing the voice of the community come to you. It is the numbers, right? You're going to bring real issues, and that's the thing we have to do. Not just buy back the block, but affect the block as a whole. Is where I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're a micro conversation to the bigger.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's so much more.
I get so much. I just wanted to open the door again tonight, and
we definitely have to have more of these conversations.
This is I call it Aboriginal Wall Street, the first of the month conversation. Even though they got people who got rent due, you know what I mean? 2 now and tomorrow, right? The 3rd, you heard me? But at the same time, some people got their shit paid off, right? However the case, blessings to everybody in their positions, or better position you may be in soon. But at the same time, again, these type of conversations are why we have them. I don't care if it's a bigger audience, smaller audience. I just feel like I got to have the guests that can bring this information to our platform. I don't care how it happens, because this is what our people need. And you can't be autonomous, self-governing without these type of conversations. Right. So we wouldn't be the autonomous party without this type of conversation that has to be put on the record. And hopefully we can be back soon with more panel discussions with this type of conversation from people that are professionals in their communities that can bring things to the table. So again, I thank the Bottom Up Podcast, Kay and Serica. Serica, you didn't say nothing. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Build a team. You can't do it by yourself. You need a team. Whatever you're trying to do in your community, build a team of like-minded individuals and go. Shake the tree. Who gonna stick, and who gonna fall off. But build that team and just go. We need it. We need each other more than we know.
I appreciate that. And again, when we get out of here tonight, Monte, again, I just want to thank everybody that came, tapping with us live. Shout out to Devon, Provident Market, Bottoms Up Podcast once again.
Thank you for having us.
Back on air somehow or another.
We kick
it. Back to kick it with us. So I'm saying, so everybody have a good night. Thank y'all for tapping in live and after the fact.
Good night. Good night. Thank you for having us.
Live life.
All right, y'all. Peace to the party.
This could take quite a bit of time.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke but a pair of races? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments, tribe to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Esther Lusty. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces the same color the European. Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
They cut the story into pieces. Told us pick one. They gave me a color, said live inside this. Found my name down, made it fit in their system. Whole bloodline got trimmed to a sentence. Now I'm looking in the mirror like something been missing. Got rivers in me, they never mapped out. Got names in my bones, they never let out. Every time I felt different, I was dead, right? They just buried the truth under headlines. Split me up, then they labeled it clarity. Now we fighting over fragments of identity. If I'm everything, why they narrow me? I'm putting all my pieces back deliberately. Don't dilute me, don't reduce me. I'm a blend they couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice. Let it speak. It's that Creole soul. Unfold, don't fold. Every root I hold. Turn me, hold, it's that Creole soul. Not one code, I've been told. Now I know. Yeah. Feel that? That ain't confusion, that's memory. We've been walking around edited versions, whole identity stuck behind curtains. Took the depth and traded it for surface. Now we searching for worth and what they purchased. But I feel it when the rhythm hit different, like my body recognize what's been hidden. Certain sounds make my spirit sit up like you've been here before. I can't forget it. They simplified us just to manage the narrative, turned inheritance into comparison. But the truth don't break under pressure. They don't reduce me. Yeah, I'm a blended, couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice. Let it speak. It's that Creole soul. Unfold, don't fold. Every root I hold. Turn me, hold. It's that Creole soul. Not one code, I've been told. Now I know. Choose a side, I don't gotta cut my ties. Every line inside me mine. Yeah. I'm the sum, not the fraction. I'm the truth past the caption. On my blood in alignment. Say it plain. We not one note, we harmony. Now I move like I carry an archive. Every step got a past to survive. I ain't searching for self in they boxes. I rebuilt it from what they tried to hide. So when I speak, it's layered intention. Not just pain, it's full dimension. We don't need their permission. We remember, that's the mission. Don't dilute me, don't reduce me. Don't dilute me. I'm a blend they couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice. Let it speak. It's that Creole soul. Unfold, don't fold. Every root I hold. Turn me, hold. It's that Creole soul. Not one code, I've been told. Now I know. They told us pick one. We picked all of it. That's power. Grandmama said the water holds secrets. Papers change, but the soul still speaks. Everybody loud now, nobody rooted. Whole generation hurting, acting like it's music. Gold chain shining, but the eyes look tired. Everybody online, but the spirit unplugged. Mama kept photos inside the old Bible. Faces half faded, stories gone silent. Somebody crossed oceans, somebody crossed swamps. Somebody got renamed, still the bloodline strong, yeah. Keep it easy, even when the world changed on me. Oh, keep it easy. River water run deep in me. Smoke in the air, choir in the distance. Old songs living inside my spirit. Hey. Keep it easy. Don't let them rename your soul. Keep it easy. Some things deeper than we told. Spanish moss hanging, heavy by the roadside. Church shoes tapping on the old wood floors. Women still humming songs without names. Now men still praying low behind closed doors. Maybe that's a Bible, maybe that's the proof. We forgot the story, but still carry the truth. Creole hands cooking straight from memory. Funny how the rhythm still live naturally. Hey, keep it geechee, even when the world change on me. Oh, keep it geechee. River water run deep in me. Yeah, smoke in the air, choir in the distance. Old songs living inside my spirit. Hey, keep it geechee. Don't let them rename your soul. Keep it geechee. Some things deeper than we told. The river still remember. Even if we don't pay, they changed the papers, couldn't kill the rhythm. Change the language, couldn't stop the feeling. I don't need permission to know who I am. I can feel the truth moving through the drum line. Every church clap, every back row, every old soul fishing by the tide flow. Maybe we ain't lost, maybe we just scattered pieces of a memory too strong to shatter. So I keep the candles lit, keep the choir strong, keep the old stories living inside my soul. Keep it geechee, keep the river in you. Keep it geechee. Don't forget yourself.
Am I feeling late? Oh, hopeless night. Okay, shine the money with your best. Wait, open way, hopeless night. Open way, baby. Oh, the money with your best.
Feeling